Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. We're here, we're starting a bit earlier than was initially planned for today because after Saturday's race, I mentioned this on yesterday's stream, but if you weren't here yet for yesterday's stream, or you seen Saturday's stream before it got taken down, you may have known that I had a disconnect during qualifying and then my internet was playing up and basically I had to cut the stream short. Well, when the race went to start, we started driving away for the formation lap. A Glickenhaus started to fly to space, and then every car disappeared. I initially thought it was my internet acting up again, but I was still in the server, and when I looked over at Discord, everyone else was complaining about the same issue. They couldn't see anyone. I pulled over, returned to the garage because I thought it was already race over. Others continued on and got disqualified. The race just didn't work. It completely glitched out. And so RCI, the organisers, have decided to reschedule the race for right now. So we are back a little bit earlier here on Monday. Welcome, welcome. We have just a minute left of practice before we're going to be getting into the race. We still have the Imola LMP2 race a little later on, but we will likely be missing qualifying as qualifying takes place at the same time this race is scheduled to finish at. So it's only a 10-minute qualifying session, so it will be a case of this race finishes, pull over, return to garage, leave server, join other server. And then qualifying might have like a minute or two, like I might be able to get out for one lap, but I'm really just trying to make sure I get into the server before that race starts. So yeah, qualifying is coming to an end here. And there's 38 sign-ups on the same sign-up page that was for Saturday, so very likely some people aren't making it. 28 cars at the moment. That's a good grid. That's a good grid. So yeah, we've got a bit of double duty today. Hopefully everything works today, like it didn't on Saturday. And yeah, we're going to have a bit of a longer stream here, since we've it's still only an hour and 45 minutes of racing, plus 20 minutes qualifying for this race. That's just over 2 hours and 5 minutes. That's still not a lot. Still not as much as like the 3 hours we had a week ago, or a week and a bit ago, I should say, or the 2.4 hour that we had yesterday. That was fun, a good learning experience, and was actually our and ended up being our what am I going to say? Oh, I'm just getting held here in the pits. I thought, oh, maybe I'll try and get out early this time. But no, that hasn't quite worked. We know from Saturday, when we did get qualifying in, you don't really get many laps before you run out of electric motor energy. I should turn it back down. You get 2 laps at most. So, yeah, I'm going to try and go for 3 4-lap stints instead of the 2 6-lap stints that I tried last week. We didn't get those stints in, of course, since we got disconnected from the server. So we have a bit of learning to do. I just realised I forgot to launch the race labs for the relative overlay. So we'll get that back up between qualifying and the race. Not pushing too hard at the moment as we're still building temperature into the tyres. Obviously, I'm not going on a proper push lap yet. The tyres are only at 50 degrees C. But just make sure we have a little bit of a gap for when we do start to push the lap after. Also making sure we don't back up into the car behind us. Alright, got a couple of yellow flags. Potentially for drivers who've made mistakes while pushing on cold tyres. You can see the Porsche off in the gravel there. Catching up to this BMW, which worries me, considering I'm not on a full push. And there's a couple of cars not too far behind me. Try and get a good launch off the bus stop while giving us a little bit more margin to the car in front as we start our first push lap. It looks like we don't actually have enough fuel to go for a second push lap here. Which is alright, maybe we can get a bit more track space. Yeah, tire's still not quite up to temperature. Still sliding around. Yeah, feeling like I'm really struggling for grip here. first lap at 2 minute 2.1, definitely more time in that. But yeah, as I mentioned, we don't actually have the fuel to go for another lap, so car's set up. Put a bit more fuel in. And then, yeah, we can go again. But I'm just going to wait here. Until that clear bit of track that is coming up. Yeah, so we'll head out now. Car sliding around off the pit exit since we're back on the cold tires. Keep the headlights on. Keep forgetting that you need to do that every time. Braking a little bit too late for cold tires. Car in front of us, as you can see on the track map, is in 17th place, so a little bit slower than us, so I just want to make sure I still build a gap. Again, not a full push lap. Still trying to get temperature into the tires. As we pretty much matched, matching our first sector here from our previous push lap. Losing a bit of time up the Camel Straight simply because we don't have the motor map turned up. Actually making up a little bit of time through the Lycombe chicane. Little trip through the gravel. BMW nearly held us up there. Turn the motor map. up and we go for another couple of laps. That looks a bit awkward there between the Lamborghini that spun into the pit exit and a Porsche that looks like they were exiting the pits. A little bit of a cut on top of Radion, but doesn't gain us any time with the car bouncing over the curb. And yeah, making up more time now that the tyres are a bit closer to optimal. They're not quite at optimal, but they're closer. 4/10 up as we're heading down to Puyon. You can definitely feel the added grip that there is. A little over 6.5 up. That motor map kicking into gear, bringing us to 6/10 up. As we head up to the bus stop chicane. Well, lost the rear end, turning in for the left-hander. It's cost us a 10th or 2. So we slot into P12. So we go for another lap. Just about keep him pointed straight up at Rouge and Radion. Turning down the motor map just a little bit, just to make sure we still have battery come the end of the lap. Look at Ariella. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing? This lap's been a bit scruffy. Ran out of battery too anyway. Could be an improvement still with a better final sector. And I just need to get back going again if I want to get laps in. How long have I been playing this game? I got this game when the Steam Winter Sale started. So that was the 19th of December, sorry. So a little less than a month ago. And yeah, I've been playing it quite a bit since then. Every race I've done on this I've streamed. don't have much time to play because your job sucks. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry to hear. Yeah, I've not been playing it too much. Because I've not been doing the daily or weekly events that the or sort of game provided, ran by LMU and their system. What's my job? I do stewarding at some esports events. Yeah, we're only going to have time for one lap here. Not ideal, but oh well. Artist. Nice. I must admit, I'm not great with art myself, as probably evidenced by any of the graphics I've done for videos and such. I'm alright, thanks. I'm a bit busy at the moment. That's in deep. Yeah, that was a mess. Oh well. Looks like it's gonna be P12. Yeah, P12. Oof. Some of the drivers at the front have gone even quicker than they went on Saturday during that qualifying session. Yeah, not able to get into the into the 2-minute deads or sub 2-minute one. Yeah, I can't remember what time I ran on Saturday. And unfortunately, I've already deleted the stream since it was kind of crap, and I know I have it privated still, so I can go. It was a 2-minute 1.2 before I got disconnected. So we went a tenth quicker, which is nice. But yeah, I still feel like there was more potential in that lap. Full fuel, 22 laps. That'll get us about 45 minutes, I want to say. The race will probably be 30 laps. So I'll look into the setup again. I still don't really understand much in here. I do remember from the practice I did on Saturday. The 30 kilowatt mode uses a little bit of battery per lap. The 20 kilowatt recovers a little bit. So we'll probably be switching between those two modes throughout the race. There's a lot of BMWs at the back of the grid. And a lot of Porsches in the top half. Oh, I said I wanted to start race labs to get the relative up. Oh, there's an update! Yay! Install now, please. And please actually install. Sometimes it doesn't actually install and you have to manually go and do the executable. Which I'm gonna see. Local disk. Oh, is it program files?
Formation lab has started.
Okay, we've got it up.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go then for HyperSpa. Down into the source. Oh dear. Oh, that was a hit on the wall. I just turned in too much into a rouge. I was like, oh, I can get around the outside here, but really I was asking way too much of the car on cold tires. Luckily the damage is really minimal. I was very lucky not to be collected by anyone in that. We have another car off. There's definitely damage still. But the car kinda points straight. But I can feel it in the corners. We'll repair that damage at the pit stop. But we're not too far away from the back of the pack already. Welcome, Kiki. We're just on to the second lap of our first race tonight. The rerun of HyperSpa. Got a couple of cars in front of us. Trying to get the move done on the BMW here. Not quite able to. In the slipstream of the BMW now. Can we maybe get run down to Blanchemont? We're gaining. BMW's going to leave the inside open. We'll brake late and we'll get down the inside. And we're up into 21st now with a car heading into the pits. Now behind the Asada something, the IF. I never remember its name. struggling to stay with the Asada through the corners with the damage I have. Welcome, Cora. Ferrari now that is seemingly struggling. Gotta get alongside and even in front before Blanchemont. Now we can continue pushing on to try and catch the cars in front. I would say this game probably has some of the best curbs, period. Just not only in how they sound, but in how the car interacts with them. It feels really good. We're about a second quicker than the cars that we're trying to catch. Of course, we're still behind the Asada here. We have a spun BMW. That's why you always pay attention to the yellow flags. And we have a lapped car here that's a spun Ferrari as well. So that's 2 free positions, plus a car that we were lapping as they are just out of the pits. And by just out of the pits, I mean they're literally on their out lap. I'm going to turn the motor map down here a little bit. To try and just recharge a bit of the battery before we catch up to the pack in front. There's a 3-car train that the IF is starting to catch up to. Now the Alpine has the tail lights, the tailor designed tail lights that look like an Alpine logo. Side by side into T1. Up in front. Yeah, I mean the Isoda isn't very rememberable. Hasn't done much apart from cause a crash at Imola this or last year. Now, I should say. One of the cars in front of us has gone off. One has been spun. That's 2 more positions. Just a little bit of gravel usage. Front tires are actually a little bit warm. So they are. The soft's optimal temperature is like about 76 degrees, I think, which the rear tires are pretty close to. They're in a good range. But yeah, the fronts are a bit warm. They might have been a little bit better if they were set of medium tires, but it's a little late for that now, so just gonna have to make do. We were a tenth quicker than the IF last lap. IF flashing its headlights. Oh, just wasn't quite able to get it slowed down, but the IF has gone into the gravel as I was bouncing over the curb. Now we're going to see if we can pull away from the IF. Catch up to the BMW that's in front of us. No, we don't have a Toyota around us yet. There's very few Toyotas in this race. The manufacturers for the cars that we're fighting is in the top left, as we have a car parked on the inside of the bus stop. It is a lap down. Unfortunately, the car that we're watching just right in front of us, it validated their previous lap, so we can't see what lap time they did. But I think we, despite us making that messy overtake on the IF, we still closed up and we're quicker than the BMW. A little bit of a messy lap here. It's allowed the IF to close up. Big twitch from the BMW in front. And a wide moment from the BMW. Wide there. You'd get away with that on ACC, but you'll not get away with that on LMU. You have to turn down the motor map. I don't have a lot of battery left. Big front right lock up there. Not ideal. BMW has potential pace here, but it's just struggling with consistency. Is closing up. BMW spins by itself. That holds us up. That in turn holds the set up, and another BMW coming from behind is trying to take the opportunity to pass the IF. I go in a bit deep into the source. And now we're up to 14th. Quite a few lapped cars being parked around the circuit, which isn't great to see. Though in all honesty, I don't expect us to keep 14th place with the pace that we have and the damage. IF flashing their lights. Isn't going to do them any favors. Good launch off the bus stop. Up into the source. No, well, there was a mess at the start, but I managed to avoid it. And then I made my own mistake going up a region Radion and trying to get a little bit too aggressive in making an overtake. BMW going slowly. Gives us P12. But that BMW is now holding up the IF, which could be helpful for us. Best to break away a little. The IF is through now though. New personal best lap of the race. Two seconds quicker than the car in front. It's likely that they were the one that tangled up with the BMW. And so that would be representative of their pace. Another big lock up. I'm going to have to be careful on the brakes, as I will be building up a flat spot. IF just caught up so much in the middle sector that lap. Yeah, all the cars in front of us have a little more pace than we do. So it's just going to be a question of what we do on strategy. See, the IF has dropped back as we're going through the start of Sector 2. They've not closed back up this lap, so maybe they made a mistake. Yeah, they invalidated the last lap, so yeah, maybe there was a mistake in there. Getting a wave of darkness coming over me. Which isn't good since we still have one more race to come. It's only 45 minutes, but that doesn't mean it can't be demanding. Also just thinking, now that we're in P12, that is also where we started this race on the grid. Actually, hang on a sec, we're up to P11 now. Didn't see what happened, how we gained that place. So actually one spot further up than where we started. We're just continuing to open the gap slightly to the IF. That was a massive lockup, far from ideal. I'm just locking up the front left. Just move the brake bias backwards one click. Might be a little too late to stop us from locking up at all. Just with the flat spots that the tires will naturally have at this point. So we reach the halfway point in the race. I am going to sleep well tonight. I can say that much. looks like we might need to save some fuel. As well, we have 7 laps of energy. Apparently we only have 6.7 laps of fuel. Turning up the electric motor might help that. So let's do that. Comes to the pit stop, let's just take an extra litre of fuel. Try and balance that out. What made me choose the caddy? I don't know, I just have a soft spot for the caddy. I don't know why, I just do. Lapped car spun on the exit of the source. IF just set a personal best lap, which is a 1/10.5 quicker than my personal best. And that being a bit of a slower lap for myself has allowed them to close in. And the car behind them has gone a second quicker than that. So, yeah, I have a funny feeling that we're not going to be keeping, was now P10. Again, don't know when that became P10. Maybe someone pitted. Starting to feel the flat spots now. Struggling to take Stavlo flat out now. Car's just getting more worn. Does seem like we'll be getting close to 40% wear remaining on the front tires. This will be a personal best. Doesn't beat the lap that the IF set lap on the previous lap, but is just ever so slightly, about 300ths quicker than that lap they set this time round. Also got to think about the pit stop that we're going to make. I wouldn't say I'm struggling with front locking as much now as I was before I set the brake bias backwards. I'm still struggling a bit. And I don't think I'd trust setting the brake bias any further back in case I start locking the rears. Looks like the BMW here is gonna let us through. They were getting blue flags, so you could see the light panels flashing around the track. Though in my personal opinion, they were far enough in front of us to carry on. Yeah, I'm gonna try the brake bias a little further backwards. Literally struggling somewhat to keep my eyes open a bit. Three laps left, but doesn't look like we're gonna make it on fuel. I have to turn the motor back down. Does seem like we could either try and lift and coast to make the our sort of longest possible stint. Looks like the IF behind us is pitted, or we could just pit a lap early just to make sure we don't run out of fuel, and we'll take on a little bit more fuel for the remainder of the race. Leader's just about to come across the line now. So yeah, we'll just Yeah, I don't know how easy it would be to save a lap, so we'll just pit next lap. Also does look like the IF is pitted behind us. They'll probably jump us from the fact that we're repairing damage. Pit stop has been requested. I think we're gonna need 8 laps. I hope it's 8 laps at least. But if the leader's quick, it could be 9 laps. Let's just go 9 to be safe. You can see the Porsche's caught up to the back of us. And is following us into the pits. Oh, damage is 30 seconds. Yeah, that's gonna be costly. If I knew it was quite that long, I probably wouldn't have taken it. Sorry, muted just before I finished. There goes the Porsche already. And now we're just here waiting on damage. Actually, we're not too far from being lapped here. Pit exit is so much better on warm tires. So let us see if we can catch any cars. That car did not want to slow down there. Leader hasn't pitted yet, so they're probably pitting at the end of this lap. car's definitely a little lazier on the front end than it was earlier on in the stint. Just with the tyre wear. Little late on the brakes there. Struggling to get the car slowed down. I think I seen the leader going into the pits, but I couldn't quite tell from how far back they were. We passed one BMW in the pits, so we're back up to 15th. We've got 11.5 seconds to a Toyota. But that Toyota is running mid 203s, which is the same pace that we had. Of course, we fixed the damage, so we should theoretically be able to go a bit quicker. But we also do have worn tyres and 34 litres of fuel. .25. I didn't think you could get more than one track limit point in a single instance. Well, that's me told off. Kind of looked down it for a moment, and I've just given myself more damage again. Well done, mate. Trying percent of a lap is very hard. Minutes left in the race. Just noticed we have a Porsche that's 5.5 seconds behind us, but they're not appearing on the relative. So I was looking at the relative thinking, oh, I've got an 11-second gap to the car behind. In a little bit of no man's land. I should be safe here, but we're not really. There'll be 5 laps to go here at the line. Annoyingly, because that car behind isn't on the relative, or they've disappeared. Maybe they've pitted and someone else has come out in their place. We're up to 13th. But yeah, we should now be safe. Another big lock up into Lake Hom. My driving is getting very messy at the end of this race as I tag the grass going into the right-hander. And that Toyota was appearing on the relative, but now they're not anymore. Odd. Big lockups. I've easily flat spotted the tires. I can feel it. Hopefully the two cars behind me will fight a bit. And slow each other up. Where's the track limit? That was a little harsh for was such a small cut. That does mean any more track limits and it'll be a drive-through penalty. Also, it's going to be really tight for me getting out of this race and getting into the server for the other race. Qualifying has just started for that race. And it's only a 10-minute qualifying session. Well, qualifying started at about 9 PM. So this race is going to finish like... Well, the timer for this race is going to end like a minute or two before that quali session's meant to end. But it looks like the leaders are going to get 3 more laps in. That means at the moment I have 4 laps at 8 minutes to go. That's going to make it very tight. Yeah, starting from the back. I was maybe thinking, oh, if timings go well, I could maybe sneak in a quali lap. But the like 3-minute timer before this race started kind of made sure that wasn't the case. up the motor map for the final 3 laps. I'm gonna make sure I have the server details up on my second monitor so I don't waste time once this race is finished. Cars behind are catching. Two laps to go. Time has run out, but the leader's already on the run down to Rouge. Final lap. I gotta hope that the session overtimes in the other race were on the longer side for practice and quality, and that the pre-race time isn't too short. Not repairing that damage would have been really nice right now, having an extra 30 seconds. Using up the final bit of the battery on the final lap here. And there's the finish. I'm gonna have to exit, go full screen while I put in the server details. Online. Hosted. Imola. Huh? It says server full. Maybe if I do the lobby code way. It says server full. So yeah, I can flick back over. So what you'll see here is there's 20 drivers in the server. The way when it comes to when it comes to the Mon Ultimate servers, you have to purchase them from the Mon Ultimate or from the Race Control Reps website, and you pay per hour, and you can also then pay for a certain number of slots. You can get like a 20 slot server, a 38 slot server, and then a 62 slot server. So before the race, this community did a check-in where pinged all the drivers in the so there were 18 people checked in, including myself, to the race. And that means there's been a couple of extra people that signed up to the race but didn't check in to notify, yeah, we're attending this race. And thus the server owner was like, you know what, there's going to be less than 20 people. Might as well save some money and go for the cheaper service, which you can't blame them. They're hosting these events out of their own pocket money. you can't blame them for thinking, oh, hang on a sec here, I could save a bit of money. I don't know what the actual server costs are. I don't know if they're really tight, if they're quite expensive or if they're not too expensive, I don't know. So I'm I'm not gonna go and say, oh, well, you should have spent too money, trying to save money. It's like, no, like, fair enough, and I having hosted many of events, I know the pain of people saying they're gonna turn up and then or like X amount of people saying they'll turn up and then you get a completely different number of people racing instead. Or joining whatever the event is. I know that pain all too well, and so I sympathize. Sympathize. Yeah, sympathize with the admins on that one. Because yeah, I literally looked in the chat and someone was asking, wait, what was the server set to? Did you set to the 21? And it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be an issue. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm literally trying to join. Oh well. That is not too much of a problem. We can go back to full screen, and yeah, we obviously won't be running in that race. Well, yeah, a bit of a shame, but I maybe for the best. In all honesty, with how tired I was getting in the last race, I don't feel quite as bad now. I feel like I've sort of refreshed a little bit, but yeah, I'd have to try and keep that concentration for another 45 minutes. In the LMP2 cars, again, another car without ABS, you've got to be careful on the brakes. So yeah. So yeah, as we always do, we'll not just end the stream there. As we always do, we will run some Art of Rally. We'll run the weekly event today, just to lengthen the stream out a little bit. Sometimes it's better to give in. Yes, sometimes it is, depending on what your mental attitude is, what your mental state is. I feel like I could have got through the 45 minutes. It would have been a little difficult, but I feel like I could have done it. So yeah, let's start off with the daily event. We can check where we finished yesterday. We finished 103rd, darn it, just outside the top 100. Yeah, I made a mistake there. I tried to cut a corner a little bit and it did not end well. You can check yesterday's stream to see what happened. So today we've got a Group A car at Sardinia for a 9.7 kilometer stage. Let's get right into it. It looks like we have a Delta. And yeah, if I remember correctly, the Delta handles quite nicely. Certainly feels like it so far. Is on the lighter side, so you can throw it around quite nicely. Glad I'm taking it cautious over the jumps. kind of remembering this stage. I think I did it in a weekly event. Probably last week. And I remember I was cautious through like the first 2 jumps, and the 3rd jump there I was like, oh, let's go flat out, and I just about made the corner that followed it. So there we go, 2 minutes 28.9 for the daily event. That puts us 27th on leaderboard, top 10%. That's not too bad. I'd like to have been a couple of positions higher, but we'll make do with that. Certainly a fun car to drive, the Delta, for sure. Fun indeed. At the weekly event, we had a little check of our results last time. 97th, we were just within the top 100 for last week's event, unlike yesterday's daily event. So let's see what we have. Group A again, but at Japan now. Starting off with an 8-kilometer stage on tarmac with the Ford Kazi. Another fun car as far as I can remember. Bit of fog around for this opening stage. A little bit deep in there. I didn't expect the corner to be quite so tight and quite so long. There as well. There's the end of first stage, 2 minutes 36.2, puts us 22nd. That's a good start. And yeah, within a couple of tenths of 2 cars in front of us, yeah, potential here to go a little further. You can tell when you're enjoying the car because of the way you throw it around and the way it flows. Yeah, I definitely Yeah, definitely. The cars I enjoy are the ones I can throw around a bit more, and I just know what it's going to do, and I can have that confidence in. And then the cars I don't enjoy are the ones I struggle with because I'm not able to sort of throw them around, and just have to be more cautious with them. Um, yeah, on to the second stage here. 10 kilometers still on tarmac. I hope we do get a gravel stage or two later on. Because I think I would enjoy this car a bit more on the gravel. Nearly slid into the guardrail there. One of the rare times I've used the handbrake in this game, just because it feels like the car not rotating as much as I'd like it to. On the tarmac, the front end isn't really gripping up. Frame rate is struggling a little bit. It's actually hurting my head a little bit. Let's finish to 326.2. Fall to 20th, unfortunately. Wasn't the cleanest of stages. But yeah, getting into a gravel stage now. 6 kilometers in the night. We haven't hit anything, so all we need to do is clean the car. No repairs. And we'll get into the gravel stage. And see how this car feels on the loose surface. That's a cheeky start to the stage in the dark. The S is hidden by a tree. There's finish 220.7 through the third stage, gets us back up to 26th. So let's see what we can do in the final stage. Gravel once more, the longest stage of the rally, 11.4 kilometers. Oh, frames. I'm just gonna. No, I already closed that. Yeah, I don't know why the frames are struggling so much. Maybe it's a Japan thing, but I haven't noticed. Frame rate certainly hasn't been this bad. Since I got my new graphics card. On the hay bale. It's definitely harder to control the car when the frame rate is being less consistent. Big jump, the car wanted to wander a little bit on the landing. I feel like with the frame rate issues, the game's not accepting every button press I'm making. I feel like on a couple of occasions it's not gone down as many gears as I've requested. There's the finish, which I'm glad to see. It's hard to turn in some of those corners with that frame rate. We still get 20th in the end. Could have been much worse with that frame rate, but I think it could have been a little bit better too without it. But yeah, either way, that is the weekly event all done and dusted, and that will wrap us up for today's stream. A bit shorter, unfortunately, than what I was hoping for, but yeah, there's not much that we can do about that. Yeah, the HyperSpa race, Hypercar race at Spa, it was Shame about the mistake I made on that one. That's all on me because it was a good start, and it would have been good to have seen what pace we had without the damage, to have seen where we could have been had I not made the mistake. So yeah, a bit of a shame there. But then I think that if I was always going to sort of get that tired wave of tiredness in the middle, I was always going to sort of struggle for consistency and to keep the pace up. So oh well, that race kind of destined not to go too much my way, and then yeah, not making second race. Oh well, let's not worry about it. The main thing is we still had a race today, and we still had fun with the Art of Rally. So yeah, not nothing to complain about. Um, there are also plenty more races to look forward to in the future. If I look at my calendar, such as on Wednesday, we will be back for another 1 hour race, this time back at Interlagos, but with the hypercars once more. Our third hypercar race. I've chosen a different hypercar this time to the Cadillac. I think I've gone for the Ferrari for this one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to experience Interlagos once again in the hypercars, sort of feel what the difference is like between it and between the hypercar and the GT3 cars that we've driven there a couple of times now, and that we will drive once again come Sunday at Interlagos. We have a 2 hour race at Interlagos with GT3 cars. I I'm doing this race in the Corvette. That means we will have raced 3 of the 4 GT3 cars currently in Le Mans Ultimate at Interlagos. But yeah, 2 hour race. So yeah, that will have most likely a similar strategy as the 1 hour race we ran recently that had double tire wear, but of course the fuel will be at the same rate as it was in that 1 hour race. So we'll have to make a couple of pit stops. When we change tires is going to be a good question. Going to be a good question indeed on when we change tires. I'm not too sure. We'll have to work that one out when Sunday comes. And of course, we also have the start of another one of our weekly series through the next about 6 weeks. That is the 2.4-hour series on ACC from Onid. That race will be starting pretty much immediately after the Interlagos race finishes, funny enough. It's not as tight as today was meant to be, but it is somewhat tight. It's like a 10-minute gap, I think, between race finish and qualifying starting. Bear in mind, we do have to switch over games. And so I'll probably schedule that as 2 different streams on YouTube, just so I can have them categorized correctly and put in the correct playlists. Trying to keep the YouTube algorithms kind of happy, you know, all that. Today was too tight. I wouldn't say today was too tight. Too tight is you don't make the start. And okay, yes, we didn't technically make the start of the race, but we would have made the start of the race. The fact I was able to chat with one of the admins for a minute in the Discord meant that, yeah, they weren't racing yet, so we would have made it, but yeah, the server capacity thing, again, nothing, no ill thoughts of the community or the admins. Totally understandable, and I can sympathize with sort of the issue a bit, so I can. Okay, I've been very fortunate enough that I haven't had to pay for hosting servers on any of the events I've ran yet, but I have certainly had to deal with the you just have no idea how many people are turning up issue. So yeah, I can absolutely see saving money when you think you can and you've got a little bit of safety for it. Yeah, the money is coming from somewhere. They're doing well putting on a race. Yeah, and that community puts on a few races. because remember, that is a weekly series. So we will be back in LMP2s next Monday for a 45-minute race. Next week it will be at Portimao, and we will be qualifying. So yeah, that should hopefully be some good fun. Of course, go be a little bit on the back foot, not like having a race under our belt. The race would be good to sort of experience what the possible strategies are, because it looks like the LMP2, you could maybe go the 45 minutes without pitting, but you would need to save a lot of fuel. Like, you would need to save like 4 or 5 laps of fuel over the stint. That's a lot of fuel. Uh, Possible? Yes. Do you lose time from doing it? Yes. Is it going to be worth not taking a trip down pit lane? Who knows? And that's where the experience of tonight's race is going to help those in the rest of the series that we're going to have to try and catch up on the learning for next week. But yeah, and we're also, that same community is also going to be hosting another series we'll be taking part in on Fridays. Not this Friday, doesn't start this week, starts next week. And yeah, we've already done a couple of their races. It's the same community that hosted the 3-hour race around Le Mans that we did a couple of weekends ago. And I think they also hosted a couple of more races that we attended at the end of last year, but I don't have them in my calendar, so I can't recall them off the top of my head per se. So yeah, that is sort of schedule. Thursday, I should mention too, is the release date for Assetto Corsa Evo, the first or the access release. I will likely be trying it out on Thursday. I don't know when exactly it releases on Thursday, so I don't know when that stream will be exactly. But yeah, there may be a Thursday evening stream trying out the new SL Corsa or the Access to find out, see what's it like, how does it feel, how does it compare to ACC and the original AC, and yeah, giving my first impressions and thoughts on that, and my live reaction to it as well on stream. So yeah, hopefully we can look forward to that and enjoy that later on this week. So yeah, we've got 3, 4, maybe an extra, 3 or 4 streams this week to look forward to. Plenty of racing action. We have nearly 5.5 hours of racing on Sunday alone, so it's going to be a busy Sunday, but yeah, should be plenty of fun. In the meantime, I'm gonna head off. I've got a couple of things to do, and then I'll probably head to bed early tonight since I am tired. But yeah, it will be nice to head to bed before midnight for once. It's been a little while since I've done that. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Cora and Geeky, and anyone else that was lurking along in the chat. I will hopefully see you all later on in the week. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your Monday and the rest, sort of the start of your week. And yeah, I will see you on Wednesday, hopefully. But yeah, until then, again, thank you very much for watching and take care. Bye bye.